Hey boys and girls, it's Miss Jewel again. I'm here to give you your directions for this week's center. And so today we're going to learn about nutty sounds. And we have been working very hard on our sounds and that first sound we hear when we say a word. So for example, if I said unicorn, the first sound you hear is Or if I said watermelon, what's the first sound you hear? Watermelon. Or if I said the word scissors, the first sound you hear is S for scissors. And so this week we're going to look at those first sounds and we're going to try to match the two sounds that are the same at the beginning. And so here's your direction sheet, and it looks like this, and you can find it in your center bucket. And it says, I can. Not I can't. It says I can, because I know you guys are going to be able to do this. Listen for the beginning sound. So it has a picture of an alligator, lamp, ladder. Did you hear how Miss Jewel said those out loud? It's okay to say stuff as long as you're using your whisper voice in your centers. I want to hear you saying those because when you say them out loud, it helps you to hear those sounds. And guess what? When we hear those sounds, then we can begin to blend and we can begin to read. And you guys are almost there. So I want you to work really hard on this center. Then the direction 2 says, color the two pictures that start the same. Write the beginning letter. Wow, that sounds really tricky. So we're going to do a few together. Okay? So first, if I go back to my directions, it says I'm going to say the beginning sounds. So I have socks, raccoon, rocket. Which one of those have the same beginning sound? Yes, raccoon and rocket. They both begin with what sound? R. What letter says R? Like ripping rubber band? R. R says R. Now I want you to look. On each of your cards it has a number. This is the number. Everybody knows it. It's the number 3 because you guys are so smart. Everybody in our class knows numbers 0 to 5. And so I'm going to get my sheet. I need a pencil too. Okay. So on my sheet, I'm going to match. And I want to make sure that I go to number 3, not number 1. I know that's what we want to do, but we're going to go to number 3. And the two that have the same sound were raccoon and the rocket. And we said that R, the letter is the letter R that makes the R sound. So I'm going to write a letter R. And you can write an uppercase R or you can write a lowercase r. And if you don't know how, you can look up on the alphabet chart in our room. So I'm just going to write both. You can do both too, and that would be really good practice for your handwriting. So I'm going to write uppercase R and a lowercase r because I just want to. So you guys can see right here where Miss Jewel wrote uppercase R and I wrote the lowercase r because the two sounds that were the same were raccoon and rocket. So I'm going to draw another one. So listen to these pictures. And guess what, guys? These are all the pictures that we've been going over when we go over those letters. Like that king, he looks familiar to me when we talked about the letter K and how K says k, k, k. So here's the king. And this is lock. And then, I remember seeing this picture too when we talked about the letter K. It's called a kettle. So this is a kettle. So king makes the k sound and kettle makes the k sound. Those are the two that are the same. And look right here, what number is that? 4. Again, everybody knows that number because we've all know our numbers to 5. So this is the number 4. So I'm going to get my sheet that looks like this, my nutty sound sheet, and I'm going to find number 4 because those numbers have got to match. And I'm going to write an uppercase K and a lowercase k because king, k, k, king and kettle have the same beginning sound. They both begin with the k sound. So I'm going to write the letter K. Now, what if you would have wrote the letter C? Well, that would have been okay because the letter C makes the k sound. But king begins with the letter K and kettle begins with the letter K. So if I draw another one, we'll do one more just for good practice. So here's my next one. I have a window, wagon, and an ostrich. Now, which have the same beginning sound? They sound the same at the beginning. Window, wagon, ostrich. That's right. Window begins with the w sound, and wagon begins with the w sound. So, what letter says w? Yes, the W. The W says w. So, I'm going to look down here, and this is the number. That's right, the number 5. So, I'm going to find the 5 on my paper, and it's right here. And so I'm going to write an uppercase W and a lowercase w because window and wagon have the same beginning sound. And we know that the w sound means that's a W. That's the letter W makes the w sound. And so when you look at my paper, I wrote a nice, neat W. And look at my letters, guys. Look how neatly I wrote in the lines. I didn't do sloppiness. And I didn't color them because I want you to really focus on saying those sounds and hearing them. So don't worry about going back and coloring your pictures that are the same and all that right now. We're just going to focus on hearing it and saying it and writing it. Okay, and then if you have time at the end, you can go back and color your pictures that are the same. So I could go back and color my raccoon and my rocket the same color. Just, you know, you don't have to, I don't want you to really scribble, but, you know, just kind of color them so when you get home, Mom and Dad could see that you followed the directions. And so you can see my color, and I just colored them pretty quickly just so that they were colored. I colored the two that had the same beginning sound. All right, guys, this is a little bit harder. I know it's probably going to make you think a little bit, and that's okay because you're in kindergarten and you need to think a little bit. So I want you to really slow down on this center and take your time. I know the directions were long, but I thank you for listening to Miss Jewel. Don't forget to put your name on your paper and do your very best.